Hey guys, it's Mobon Kiki, aka the Kaizen Creative, and today we will be drawing Clay, Osmodius, and Ramiro. Now you may be wondering who those are. Like who are these people? Who's Clay? Who's Osmodius? Who is Ramiro? All three of these characters are original characters made by me while I was in college, and I made this for a class while I was in my traditional media class. Now, you see that I'm working in digital media, but that's because I was able to do the sketch digitally before making it traditional for the final. Now, this ended up being a value study, and I can get into that after I explain who these characters are. So, Clay is Ramiro's golem. So he's like Osmodius's version of his gumball, his like soul gumballs. And Clay is literally made out of clay. He's a golem and he follows Ramiro around. And as you see, he's scared. And Osmodius got his hand around, like just right on his shoulder. And he's like, just scaring him with some fire. Now, Osmodius, he's the main character in my story. He is the recently appointed Grim Reaper, but right here, he has yet to become the Grim Reaper because Ramiro's still alive. There can only be one Grim Reaper at a time in my story, and like it is based off of how you're born. So there's Reapers, there are other Reapers, but not all of them earn the title Grim Reaper. You don't earn the title Grim Reaper until the last Grim Reaper passes away. So this is while Osmodius was helping Ramiro around and, just going around trying to find people and do whatever else that they needed in order to make sure that there's balance between the living and the spirit realm. Now, we got Ramiro in the back. He's just laughing and looking at Osmodius mess with Clay. Now, Ramiro is Osmodius' older brother. We don't get to see Ramiro in Osmodius chapter 1, but he is mentioned and had mentioned that he is taken away in battle. And that is what led to Osmodius becoming the Grim Reaper. And when the Grim Reapers pass away, they no longer exist. So I have like this duality between having to help navigate other souls, from going from the living realm to the spirit realm and making sure none of the spirit realm people get into the living realm. But he can't even see his deceased brother because he's a Reaper. And he feels indifferent towards other souls at first because of the fact he can't even see his brother again. But yeah, this was just a scene where I was trying to get some character interaction. I loved how I had Clay's expression on here, y'all. Like, I was laughing just making the sketches for this. And like, I would like to know in the comments below whether you think I should make like a little mini series for Ramiro, Osmodius, and Clay. This one would target more towards Ramiro and Clay, but Osmodius would show up. That way we get to see the lives of them, right before we end up not seeing them anymore for unfortunate circumstances. And I haven't even mentioned what happens to Clay, but he may or may not show up again, we'll see. But he won't in chapter 2. I can't tell y'all that. He won't show up in chapter 2 of Osmodius. But yeah, do y'all think I should make a prequel comic? Have that adventure between, Ramiro and Clay. Have Osmodius show up for one of those chapters? Would y'all like a 2-part series, 3, 4-part? How y'all want that? And do y'all also want to have a comic to where we see how Ramiro met his demise? because I do have a storyboard of it, y'all, and I could revise it because I had a storyboard class around that time, and I was fleshing out the story some more, and that's around the time I made Ramiro, and I was like, yeah, this is the guy that Asmodeus is eventually going to try to find, because he's the reason for his brother's demise. Now, do y'all know who that character is? No, I'm not even going to tell y'all. Not yet. But originally, the other character was going to be like the hero of the story. But the Grim Reapers aren't really evil or good. They just do what they have to do. You know, they just doing their job. Now, they do have flaws like humans do. You know, that's how we, as humans, are able to relate to these characters. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this drawing and like watching me go from pencils to inks. Also, let me know if y'all would like to see more art that pertains to my original characters, like specifically the ones that are in the stories, the ones I actually have some sort of story for, because a lot of the characters I do make are pretty random, except for, you know, ones that are more fleshed out, like these guys. And as you see on here, Asmodeus' hair is a little different. I was still trying to figure out how I wanted to make it. It actually used to be completely flat, but I wanted to change it since I wanted to make sure that it was obvious that he lived in a 3D space. Also, let me know if y'all would like to see how I originally drew Asmodeus. So like literally the very first time that he became a character, and to see the evolution of how I started to draw him and like how he looked then versus how he looked now, because I got plenty of stuff to show y'all. And like I originally made him for a character and environment class, and I just really liked the character and have kept using him since, you know. I ended up making my comic for him for my senior capstone. Like I was fleshing him out like a whole year and a half before that, trying to see how his environment would work and how he interacts with it, the tools he uses, the powers he has, etc., etc. Now, my next Ink With Me picture will also involve Asmodeus, but it will be a picture that I had did during Inktober. So I will be showing y'all how that looks and how I made it traditionally. I had inked it traditionally and everything. I can't wait to show y'all. I'm pretty sure that y'all will love it. Now for the last part of this video, I almost forgot to tell y'all about value studies. Value studies are used to help you know where your lights and your darks are, and that helps you know where the main focus should be in your drawing. And for this picture, I wanted the main focus to be the fire, the flame that Asmodeus has in his hand, and Clay's expression. So I put the lightest values in those areas. That way, that's where you focus before you look anywhere else in the picture. And like even for the darks, I didn't use anything too dark outside of pure blacks when doing Asmodeus' hair, Ramiro's hair, and like Clay's, the inside of his mouth, and Asmodeus' nails. And then of course, like the hatching that I did. But yeah, that's the purpose in the value study. It helps a lot. I don't do them very often, but they honestly do help a lot. I think I should use them more. I see why professionals use them quite a bit. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, y'all.